Hey guys, I'm back again. I've had my food. Got rid of my eyebrows. See, they were coming off anyway, so I got rid of them. Yes, we were talking about controversial subjects before I had to go before my flat burnt down because I was cooking food. So yeah, we were talking about obviously the armpit hair thing, my opinions on that. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about, which you can't put in titles of YouTube videos anymore, otherwise you'll get them taken down, even though it might literally just be something which I'm going to talk about. It might be an awareness thing, as Dahi Denoglu was saying the other day. Who are we going to talk about? Consent and text. I don't like the word, it cringes me out, but that's what we're going to talk about because that's an important subject. Now, I didn't really, last night, I didn't want to, basically. And Michael got umpy, but I don't really understand by what he meant when he said it's always on my terms. I guess he means if I want to, it will happen, but if I don't want it to, it won't happen. But isn't that the way it's supposed to be? I said to him, I didn't really understand what he meant, so I said, what do you mean by that? And he just wouldn't answer me. And then I said to him, well, if you're trying to imply that I make you do the stuff, the things, we're going to call it, what we're going to call it, we're going to say the do, because I don't like saying the three-letter word. It's just, everyone has words that they don't like, for whatever reason, whether it's the way people say them, or they just don't like a word. That's one of those words I don't like it. So I usually say do the do, or stuff and things. Or Frickle Frackle is another one. Ha ha, I like that one. I'll probably use multiple of those in this video, but yeah, I said to him, you don't say to me that you don't want to do the do. So why are you making it out like I make you do it, kind of thing? Well, of course it's going to be on my terms unless you say something. You know? I don't know if I've missed the point. I don't really understand. I guess that's why I'm here. It's my choice whether I want to or not. And if I want to, but the other person doesn't, and they say I'm not into this, then of course you're going to be a bit like, oh, that sucks, damn. But you're not going to force yourself on them. You're going to be like, alright then, you'll just wait. I don't get what he meant by that. Always on my terms. Well, yes, it's always going to be on my terms if you don't say anything. I have full right to say no. I have full right to not want to do things. I said in the last video that I got upset because in all of my past relationships, I've always said yes even though I've not wanted to at times. Because I didn't want to upset the person and I didn't want to say no. And then have someone force themselves on me. So I've always said yes. And then just gone along with it, even though I didn't want to. I don't want it to be like that now, because this is a different situation. I shouldn't feel like I have to say yes to Frickle Frackle just because someone else wants to. I know I said I don't really care about being objectified the other day, but I guess I'm in that sense like being whistled down the street, having things shouted at me on the street, that kind of objectification. But I don't like I don't know. Bloody hell, I don't know. I just basically, I didn't understand what he meant by that. As if it was unfair for me to say no. As if I had no right for me to say no. He said to me before in the past that he hasn't wanted to, and I've been like, oh, alright then. Girls, by law, can sexually assault men. They can't rape by law. This is by law, LAW, law. This isn't what I believe. Back to opinions. This isn't opinion. This is by law. Whether it's right or wrong, it's written down. Men cannot rape. Men cannot rape. That's completely wrong. Ignore that. Women cannot rape men. They can only sexually assault them. Right. Grab them by a ding dong. Shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. Or do oral things to them without their consent. They can only sexually assault them. They can't rape them, obviously, because they haven't got anything down there to put it into apart from the other side. But it's not going to be fucking easy, is it? You can't do that without some help. But no, by law, you can't. A woman can't rape a man. But no, I would never bloody sexually assault anyone. Do I look like that kind of girl? I mean, look at me. Just kind of made me feel like I wasn't allowed to say it, and that I'd forced myself before. There are people on the internet, as in Tumblr, you know, the delusion ones, that think rape is a thing, excuse me, that happens when you say yes even though you don't want to. That's not rape. Rape is when you say no and you mean no, I'm definitely not interested in this. I'm saying no out of my mouth hole and you are forcing yourself on me. If you say yes, whether you want to or not, that's not what sexual assault is. So if a person said to me, you sexually assaulted me because I didn't want to, even though I said yes, I would be like, no, because you didn't state your consent at me. You said the yes word at me, meaning you have expressed to me that you want to do this. So therefore, I take that as it's okay for me to do this. You can't say yes, think no, and then I just need to stop touching that. Accuse someone of forcing themselves on you when you have expressed the desire or you've expressed the allowance of them to do that to you. That's not what sexual assault is. That's not that's someone forcing themselves on you. That's not what it is. There are people on Tumblr that think you can be mind raped. You don't have to put yourself inside a woman to rape them. You can look at them with your eyeballs. No. Don't start taking the seriousness of the situation away. Don't do that. Because you're not helping people who have been through that. Now we're honest here, and I say it all the time, and I'm not afraid to talk about things. You have to be careful what you put in titles. You have to be careful what you tag things, which I will do, because I don't want this to be clickbait. I don't want this to be taken down. There's the whole thing last night. I was confused. I didn't really understand, and I felt like I wasn't allowed. The lighting's really bad because the clouds are going over the sun, and the sun's like, woo. Yeah, I felt like I wasn't allowed to say no, like I had to say yes. I don't know what it's always on your terms really means other than what I've expressed. Maybe I'm missing something. If I'm missing something, feel free to tell me. I'm very stupid and I don't understand a lot of things. I'm not very clever. So that's what this part of the video is about. Another opinion of mine, back to this. Free bleeding, gross as it is totally gross and disgusting, and I don't agree with that in any sense of anything. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's gross. I'm kind of on the fence with the free the nipple thing. I'm not really sure at the moment what my opinions of that are. I said earlier, of course, do what you want in public, but it seems like the people who do the free the nipple thing get very aggressive when someone looks at that area of them while they're doing it, because they don't seem to understand that in today's society that's what men and women do. They will look and they'll make comments because that's what society is. They seem to think that because they're a movement making something normalised, rude comments aren't going to come their way. Well, of course they are. Of course they are. I'm not really sure, like I said, what I'd think about that, because as much as I don't care what you do, I'm not going to tell you to stop doing it. I don't know if I would be comfortable looking at that just being out. Yes, that leads on to the breastfeeding thing. The whole breastfeeding public thing is perfectly fine with me. But you're using them. That's what they're there for. They're to feed children. But when someone is just walking around with them out, that's not being used to feed a child, I don't know if I would be comfortable with that. Of course, feed your children in a restaurant. One time when I was on holiday, I was quite young, and there was a lady with a baby, and she lifted her top off and started feeding her baby, and I looked away. Not because I was disgusted, because I felt like it was rude to stare at the baby while I was eating. Also, I felt like it would be a bit rude just to be staring at this lady's boob. I didn't think that was the right thing for me to do. I mean, it's a feeding mechanism, but it's like watching someone feed a toddler. I mean, it's a little weird. I mean, toddler doesn't want to be watched while it's eating. The baby doesn't want to be watched while it's eating. The mum doesn't want to be watched while it's feeding the toddler or the baby. I said it. I meant she. Yeah, do that. Do that. I have no problem with that. Breastfeeding in public is a thing because babies need to eat, and I don't think it's right they get sent to the toilet to do it. We don't eat in toilets, do we? No. We eat at tables, like in restaurants and stuff, so why can't the baby eat at the table? But again, I shouldn't be reinstating myself. I need to stop doing that. That's being used to feed child. But when you just have them out, I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that. I just can't tell you why. I don't know why I'd be uncomfortable with that. Maybe that is society that's done that to my head. I think it's just because it's a part that you shouldn't really flash. I don't really know. I don't really have a reason as to why I'd be uncomfortable with it. But with the free the nipple thing, just on its own, not as a feeding mechanism for a child, just on its own, women walking around with no tops on, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that. Who is it? It's Harvey. Maybe he's gorgeous boy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Haven't really decided. I mean, I'm sure I'd tell you if I ever made a decision whether it was I don't agree with that because it's gross, or whether I do agree with that because it's women's bodies. You know, if I decided, I'd tell, but I don't really know. I think that larger women should be able to wear what they want without being told it's wrong for their body size. We should all be allowed to wear what we want without being ridiculed. This video is going to go on for 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. If you don't like it, look away. Guess that brings us back to the free the nipple thing, doesn't it? If I don't like looking at it, I should just not look at the woman with the shirt off, I guess. It's not that I don't like it, it's just uncomfortable. Everyone gets uncomfortable by different things. So I guess that makes sense on that part. Just don't look, which is fine. It's the same with the breastfeeding thing. If it makes you uncomfortable, don't look. The baby's hungry. The baby doesn't want to go to the toilet and eat food. The baby wants to sit at the table with its family and eat food. Don't look if you don't like it. I looked away when I was on holiday that time because I felt like it'd be rude to stare. So that is that right there. My opinion isn't fact. I'll tell you when I'm telling you facts, like I did with the law thing earlier. I told you that was the law, that was an opinion, that's the way it was. My opinions aren't the only way to do things. My opinions are just my thoughts. It's not the way the world works, it's not the way I think the world should work. It's just, I'm not going to stop you doing things. But if I think it's greasy, then I think it's greasy. So, yeah, that's that. My other video should be uploaded soon. And then we'll have this one up. So, you can watch these. I'm going to go and have a nap because I'm very tired because I had to get up early and also I didn't go to sleep until like 4 AM. I was like watching Nerd Cubed, you know, the YouTuber who does his simulators and shit. I couldn't stop watching it, I was wide awake. I was absolutely wetting myself. It's so funny, he's hilarious. But yeah, I was up till 4, so I'm very tired. So yes, thank you for listening or watching if you are. I appreciate it. Bye bye. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't have any hope for this interview thing. I've given up. I don't think I've got it. If they're taking this long, I don't think I've got it. So I've given up with that. But I've got a Morrison's thing to do, which is convenient on some days that Michael's off, which is great. Anyway, life calamities, first world problems away. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So, bye.